Yeah. Okay. It's Koppie. It's Koppie. She's here. And she was worried about being late, but she wasn't late. We're not getting a hand cam today. I accidentally fell asleep after work. For 2.5 hours. I woke up, it was like 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I'm hungry. so I went on a walk to go get pizza. And I went back with pizza. But the thing is, the pizza I'm back with is not the pizza I ordered. It's okay. It's okay. I don't like thin crust pizza. I don't like tavern style pizza. It's okay, Koppie. You can be honest. The paid actress wasn't available for work today. Was it mac and cheese? No, it was just hot honey pizza. It is hot honey pepperoni. I decided I didn't want to rage bait you guys. How did the switch up happen? Well, no, it wasn't a switch up. It was they advertised one type of pizza with the hot honey pizza. Like all the promotional images are like one type of pizza, and I got a different type of pizza. You know? So that's why I say it's I got thin crust, and like that's not a switch up in the sense of. I understand I said, oh, I got the wrong pizza, so that might be like not. People would think, oh, orders got switched. No, sometimes people can just not be good at their jobs. That part's fine. Sometimes people could just be not good at their jobs, and that's fine. But anyways, what crust did you want? Well, they advertised it with like one type. So I was expecting that one type. I would have taken literally anything other than thin crust. I'll put it like that. I would have taken literally anything other than thin crust. Koppie real. I'm Koppie. And if it seems like killing the thin crust enjoyers, well, it's like tavern style thin crust. So it's like they cut it in squares and everything. So it's not like the thin crust that you'll get from like a Domino's or like a Pizza Hut. This is like super crispy thin crust. This is they cut it into squares, and you're like, this is an abomination. I open it up. Well, firstly, I saw the box when I went to go pick it up, and it's like, this doesn't look correct. Like, I guess for thin crust, I do prefer square, but like, for regular pizza, I prefer triangle. Does that make sense? Yeah, the cardboard. Although if I get squares, then I guess like I'm restraining myself in like the same way someone would restrain themselves and like getting the mini, teeny tiny like soda cans. Thin crust is truly a suffering. It is, in my opinion. Yes, it is. It is. Drinkies cat? I don't think so. No, I have to actually do things tomorrow. I actually have to clean my apartment to. Well, see, it's just like I think Drinkies a bit of a hand cam. I'm not dressed for a hand cam. I did not clean my desk at all today because, as I was saying earlier, I fell asleep like basically immediately after work for like 2 hours. So there's like tons of shit that's totally doxable on my desk. I don't need you guys seeing my credit card collection. Currently watching women outdrink men Friday shenanigans. She was so dressed at all for a hand cam, so it's not too bad. You mean they're naked? They're naked? Also, like, I'm wearing the same sweatpants and like jacket that I was wearing yesterday. And now the sweatpants and the jacket have pizza sauce on them. Which is like kind of gross, but I was hungry, so I just like I voraciously ate a couple pieces. Toby! Toby! I love Toby. I love my wife. So that's why I was like, on the hand cam. Like, could I throw it on BRB really quick and like clean up my desk enough to do hand cam? I could, but it was between that and like being late for stream. But do you want to? I think the cleaning part is fine. Like, hold on, let me think here. Okay, I think the cleaning part is fine. It's just more... Again, I need to throw on clothes. Also, dude, I'm chubby right now. I'm chubby right now, so when I sit, it's really obvious. What's today's stream gonna be then? I don't know! I just wanted to be here, man! Chubby? Yeah, I gained weight after Offkai. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's fine, after Offkai, you don't need to diet anymore. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Kinda wanna keep up, like, my weight. And then I gained 10 pounds. I'm at 134 pounds. I'm suffering. Some punches, gym goals increase. We've gone over this. Just because you like something doesn't mean I like it. And I'm the one that's in control of my body. So I would much rather... I know my gym goals, but you're saying... No, because you said some punch is good anyways. We're coming back because you rage bait me about this topic, and I need you to stop on this topic specifically because we've gone over this a couple times. I have a specific goal in mind for my weight and my measurements. Okay? It's not an unhealthy goal. It's within a healthy range for my BMI. It's within a healthy range within multiple other ways that people do measurements, including calipers. Tell me, thank you for 5 gifted. It is not an unhealthy goal to want to be 125 pounds at 5'1". You know, when I'm not, like, that is in fact probably a pretty conservative goal compared to most people who are 5'1", in terms of a healthy BMI range. So, some punch is good. It's great that you love punch. I like fitting into my clothes that I buy from Japan. I like fitting into my clothes that I buy from Japan. You kind of can't really change that if they only sell them in one size. Alright. That way it says we can break it. You literally can't! Like, if I ever spiral into a way where it gets into an unhealthy range, alright, fine. But it's good for a person to have personal goals. It is good for a person to have personal goals. I'm glad you have your preferences. That does not matter for what I want in life. Alright? Capiche? Awesome. Great, awesome. Anyways, I don't know what we're gonna do for stream today. Like I said, I can put it on the BRB screen, and we can do hand cam and all that, but again, that would require changing clothes and cleaning the desk, so that will take a bit. Chubby good though. Again, I understand what other people want. You have to understand, there is a mental damage that happens. And this isn't the only reason why I want to be a certain way, but there is a mental damage that happens when I put on something and I cannot zip it up. And I was able to zip it up a week prior because my BMR is so low. Okay? Understood? Capiche? I don't think it's meant to be rage bait. I don't think it's meant to be rage bait, but I want you guys to understand. I understand your preferences. I understand, like, if you see, like, any, like, way of Koffie, or if you want to be encouraging, awesome, great. And it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna use a really silly example, but you guys will understand this one. Bush versus no bush. Bush versus no bush. Hi, Gwentley. Thank you for your dailies. I'm getting rage baited by people that are chubby cat truthers again. Here, but yeah, I'll use a simple one. There are people who prefer bush, and then there are people who prefer no bush. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what the person prefers. If the person who has the bush or no bush is, like, in control, they're the one with the clippers. So which side do you want me to take with about chubby truthers or about bush versus no bush? I don't care what you guys think about bush versus no bush. Oh, former chubby truthers? It's a... You can say you if I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I want it like this. If I'm like, I need to lose weight again, and you guys are like, but chubby good, and it's like, oh, I gained weight, it's like, but I like chubby. Please don't. Please don't. Because ultimately, I don't want to be chubby. Which sounds really stupid considering how much I struggle with, like, my weight yo-yoing around. But I don't want to be chubby. Personally, I would like to be slim, slender, all that. And now, but also realistically, I know my weight isn't chubby. I just know I'm not slim, slender, etc. I am just an average freaking girl. But I'd like to not be chubby. Let a girl have goals, basically. Don't pancake waffles, sir. Yeah. Doesn't even matter. My goals in life do matter. If that's what you mean. If you mean your preferences? How do I phrase this in a way that's nice? Ultimately, I'm not doing things with regards to my weight for you guys. There's things I'll do for you guys. My weight is not one of them. That throne gift, in terms of that, that's not for you guys. That's for my wife. That's for Toby. My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. Will you still clip me even when you blow up? Or are you gonna move on to women who are nicer to you or meaner to you? I still don't know what your preference is in that regard. Curtis new goal, become Koffie wife. Feel like it's both. Is it both? Wait, ideal as I blow up clipping you, is it not? I wasn't gonna be presumptuous about that sort of thing. It's not about being mean or being nice, it's about bants. Okay, real. Yeah, I mean, at Offkai, I'll put it like this. I had brainworms at Offkai, and you guys could say, oh, you look great at Offkai, and I get that. And I'll accept that you guys, like, thought I looked good. But that doesn't stop brainworms from happening, unfortunately. And, but I will say, the one thing is, if I ever compare myself, then you guys can beat me with hammers. If I ever compare myself to another person, in any way that is negative, you are allowed to beat me with hammers. Okay. Anyways, I should tweak that I'm live. Now that I got my sickness-induced crash out of the way, we can tweet that I'm live. Say. Maybe I will drink. No, I want to say you're okay, but also I know this is not the first time we had the conversation. I was just trying to be more clear about it. Does that make sense? It's a, don't feel bad, but understand why I say what I say. Use any feelings that you have from the conversation to put in positive actions going forth. Feel a little bit? Okay, but I don't think feeling bad is motivating for people. Like, when I feel bad, when I feel like crap because I messed up on something, that doesn't always motivate me to do better or to, like, fulfill my goals and all that. That feeling bad is a demotivator for positive action. In fact, it can be the opposite, depending on, like, you know, I don't want to say verbalizing your feelings is bad, but if it becomes feels bad, verbalizes feeling bad, continues verbalizing feeling bad, and doesn't put any action henceforth, then it becomes like, you know. So that's why I'm like, I guess, being reflective and moving forward is a good thing. It's a pretty good motivation for me to just not do that thing. I guess. Maybe it depends on all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Wow. I'm alive. I'm gonna copy this link. Actually, I will make it a hand cam. I will put it on the BRB screen so that way we can do a hand cam. It'll be a long-ass BRB screen. It's gonna be probably like 10 minutes. Because I need to clean off my desk and put on clothes. Because that is what I titled my YouTube stream. I'm going to be a good VTuber. I am going to do what's on the schedule. Follow in your footsteps, makeup organizer and skincare stuff. Nice! I'm proud of you. We can yap about that when I get back, okay? Okay? Alright? Okay? Don't touch that dial. Why the fuck did I say that? Anyways, hold on. Okay, back. why did that make the S? Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, the aspect ratio is way off. Hold on. Nope, it's good. Never mind. Okay, I was just... Okay. So, Coffee Channel was stupid. It put the cable that she needed for this somewhere stupid. Anyways, I have beer now. I'm wearing dolphin shorts. That. Yeah, Rattler. Raspberry Rattler. All that fun stuff. As you can see, my boob mouse pad is gone, and that's because it started peeling. It served me a good, serviceable, like, almost 3 years. So, cute shorts. Thank you. But, yeah. I'm trying to think, when did I do that merch run? I did it 2023, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did 2023. So, yeah. Oh, hi, HANDCAM. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a HANDCAM today. Look up, you look really cute today. Thank you. It's... So we got safety shorts underneath the dolphin shorts, because these are baggy. I have a plight, which is every dolphin shorts I get are, like, indiscriminately baggy on me. If I want them to fit, like, in my waist, they're like, wait, oh, here. It is beer time. Happy weekend. Yeah. Cheers! I had beer. I have some leftover energy drink over here. Oh yeah. My new Oura ring. That is like... Hey, there we go. Not pink, but you know, it exists. Dolphin shorts expect you somehow to get thunder thighs. I don't even think it's that. I think it's the waist to hip ratio on me is like, I don't really have hips. I think that's more of the problem, is I don't really have hips here. Because, like, let's be honest, this is a lot of thigh. This is a lot of thigh for one girl to have. Also, let me do something real quick. Can do this, filters. There we go. Bring the TikTok e-girl GI maxing filter to the HANDCAM streams. You shouldn't have to bear this alone. Let me help. Yeah, I like dolphin shorts. You can't really see it while I'm wearing like same kind of material top now. I was originally wearing sweatpants and was just schleppy, but yeah, it got me. I'm just thinking, like, I cannot wear something full of my pizza sauce stains from dinner on stream. You look comfy, Max, on those sweats. Yeah, I can't wear them 2 days in a row, man. I can't do that. I can't do it. Like, I can admit it on stream that this was the level of bed rot that I was at, but I can't wear it. Also, look at Bobo. I was gonna keep bow-bowing until you guys bow-bowed back. Thank you. Thank you for understanding the assignment here. But yeah, what do I got? What do I got for today? It's literally just a HANDCAM. And now a beer. We have a HANDCAM now with a beer. Yeah. I'm sorry about not doing E33 yesterday. I My tummy hurt. My tummy hurt. HANDCAM. Beer. Yeah. Flamoka at home be like, I am not built like you, Mococo. But what was I gonna say? I just because I had a valid reason doesn't make me feel better, you know? Mococo-chan. Mai! Hi, Mai. Okay, you know what I need to do? You know what I haven't done? I only did my wife's dailies today. Because I love her. So now I need to do everyone else's. Because I also love you guys. Miss you too. I hope you're doing good. I hope the Philippines has not taken you away. Which it seems it has not. It's okay, McCleric. I only got the HANDCAM set up like 5 minutes ago. I woke up late right now. It's okay. It's okay. All you missed was a crash out. All you missed was a crash out. Good morning, Entropy. Hey, dailies time. Dailies time. Hi, McCleric. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Chili. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Scouser. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Lola. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Gnarly. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Heapman. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Clockwork. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Entropy. Thank you for dailies. I'm letting you sneak in at the top there. Normally you'd have to wait until the end. Hi, Minky. Thank you for dailies. What are you doing up? Are you still awake? It's past your bedtime. Hi, Derma. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Pax. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Gwenly. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Toby. Thank you for dailies too. Check my art tag. Can we do it after my dailies? Can we do it after my dailies so that way I don't get distracted by whatever is eventually in my art tag? Hi, Sputnik. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Doctor. Thank you for dailies. Mulchi, thank you for the 8 months of tier 1. Hi, XC. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Chris. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Shiny. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Titan. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Day. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Zionel. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Cannoli. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Solo. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Tensei. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Haban. Thank you for dailies. Hi, Noisy. Thank you for dailies. I have a question for you, Noisy. I'm assuming you prefer Noisy over Noble because I saw that's what you changed your name to in my Discord server. I just want to make sure because I know I switch between the two. But I want to make sure like I'm calling you a name you actually prefer. Because I do the Twitchism, which is that either make the first half, like I take one random like word in a username and I make that a person's name. I want to make sure that's okay. I prefer Noisy? Okay. Got it. I figured. I just wanted to confirm. Hi, Jet, thank you for dailies. Hi, Larry, thank you for dailies. Hi, Mistress, thank you for dailies. Hi, Emoji, thank you for dailies. Hi, Warfare, thank you for dailies. Hi, Archeo, thank you for dailies. Hi, Doctor, thank you for dailies. Hi, Faye, thank you for dailies. And Choo Choo, thank you for linking your heart with me, Wilson. Hi, Euro, thank you for dailies. Alright, let's see. What's in my art tag? I'm assuming you mean my normal art tag? I'm assuming you mean my normal art tag. Let's see what's in here. Let's see what's in here. No? You want me to look at old lady ads while I'm live? This is gonna get me killed. This is gonna get me killed. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Wait! She's peeing! Why is she peeing? I knew this was happening, but why is she peeing? Continent. We already went over this. The only continents I have is over shitting, man. Let that other take. Oh no, that's fine. This is fine. Like, okay, here's the thing. The way I see it in terms of like freaky art that is like fetish stuff, or like, you know, quote unquote freaky, you can put it in the tag. Whether or not I interact with it is up to my sole discretion. Does that make sense? I can just close my eyes. You know, if there's something where I'm like, that's a little too far, I can just close my eyes. I am a big girl. The only time where I'd probably be like just, actually no, better set of rules. If you think it breaks the website's TOS, don't post it. Everything else, I can just close my eyes. There isn't like some fetish where I'm like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to the cat. Sole discretion. Yeah, like my feet. So you're fine. You're fine. Also, like, it's known that you like what you like, Entropy. Live your best life. Live your best life. Yeah, the Michis are really good. They're such cute. While I'm live is crazy. How long were you holding on to that? How long were you holding on to that? Okay, now make her Latina. I have really bad news for you, man. I have atrocious news for you. You just got it? Okay, I was like, were you holding on to it until I was live? You're gonna get Commissioner Kofi getting transmuted into a flesh cube. That's fine. That's fine. Come on, come Kofi, thank you for your daily. Say hi. Invisible Kofi, yeah! I set up the hand cam. I appreciate Kofi doesn't kink shame. It's okay. How do I put this? I have my preferences, and I have the things like I like and that I don't like. I don't necessarily make what I like super public, even the stuff that I think is like less freaky. You can probably infer, but I don't make that everyone's business. And with the stuff I don't like, I also don't make that everyone's business either. There's a few things where I'm like, you can't see me make a face right now, but I'm like, about it. I have some very complex and nuanced thoughts about certain topics I won't get into here. But basically, the long and the short is, everyone involved is an adult. I'm an adult. You're an adult. As long as it's all, everyone involved is an adult, everyone can make their own decisions. If I'm mean about something, that is not going to make someone change their mind. If there was something that I genuinely thought this is harmful, me being mean about it would not help. Does that make sense? Like, again, I have my personal lines, I have my personal boundaries. And I'd be like, that's a little far. But I'm not going to, like, put that on the timeline, you know? Hi, Bridget, how are you? Sometimes you can just tell. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Also, come Kofi, Bridget, thank you for your dailies. But that's why I'm like, again, there's a... I'm not gonna make my dislikes, like, apparent. And even with my likes, I don't try and make them apparent because it's like, I'm not inherently an NSFW creator. I make jokes, I interact with it, but I'm not making like that kind of content. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I can't get into all of them with all the nuances here on a stream. 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 But it's long and short, like, I have thoughts. My thoughts don't need to be public. Not every thought I make needs to be public. Which is also the reason why I had the chubby crash out earlier. It's just like, hey, we discussed this before. Example. Why are you laughing at me? Why are you going, is it because I said streams? Also, I mean, just because a girl... Okay, I'll put it like this. I'm not safe for work, but it's not that I'm not a not safe for work creator. Does that make sense? Thank you, Nuance Cha. That's me, I'm Nuance Cha. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna do I can't do something funny because I'm not logged into this account on my computer. You're NSFW in a language manner. Yeah, I'm NSFW for the bit. There's no way to explain what's happening on the screen to your boss. So this is a thigh. This is a knee. This is like a calf. A foot is in here. This is a beer. These are shorts. One bow. One bow. I come in and see Koffie's giving an interview. Let's speak. Hi, Crack Racing. You missed out on Hold on. Actually, hold on. I'll do this like this. Hold on. Idea. Bam. Taking it. Search. Wait. Oh no, I already saw that one. I was like, wait, why is there this tag on this one? What did Lauren make Lou Koffie Looter? Lauren did not. She's got the dogs on. Yeah, this is what people mean when they refer to their dogs are out. This is what people mean when people refer to their dogs being out. My favorite body part is the beard. Mine too. Thank you. I got them from Mosobox. I think they're gonna be at VExpo this year. Hey, hello. I know 99% of you are American, but to like 3 of you, are you guys going to VExpo? Put the eye tracker on the overlay. Oh, it's not like an eye tracker. It's the camera focus thing because this Canon camera does not have a way to remove like the overlay, and there isn't. It's an EOS 77D. It's a really weird generation where there hasn't been a crack for this camera to remove it, but it's not new enough where it's built in to remove the overlay. Oh, it's a VTuber machine. I mean, yes, I know that. Stopping not this year, no. Okay, noted. Noted for research purposes. I told Toby if I knew that like multiple critters were showing up to VExpo, that I would pay for her checked bag. I did not tell her this. I was going to tell her this. We talked about it as a maybe in terms of if she were to bring Koffie Channel to VExpo, the cosplay. But I believe Minky already saw that off Kai. Now I said it. Well, yeah, now I said it, but it's like a month away, so it's a little different. You know, I read at VExpo. Well, I call it VExpo because it's like VTuber, you know? Also, I'm perching like a bird. Guys, be honest. Am I neurodivergent? Be honest, am I neurodivergent? Autistic stream watcher. Hi, Ebony, thank you for dailies. Yes, are you mayhaps or seagull? Yes. Possible that the clues are there. Every time I do something and I think about what I'm doing for more than 2 seconds, I'm like, am I neurodivergent? I don't understand the trick to the question. There is no trick. This is not a pose neurotypical people a strike. Is there a question? Am I neurodivergent? It is a question in its own right. You started rocking in your chair. I don't think my chair has that built into it. Also, hi, Junkslut. Thank you for your dailies. Should I do the Rads R live on stream? I've done it off stream before. New high score incoming. Drink more first for fun. I only had like 2 slices of pizza. I don't really want to drink a ton more. I mean, I can, but like, I can't down this. This is bubbly. Yeah, pizza. I didn't totally eat. Hey, I want pizza. Is there a... Hold on. I'm gonna check something here. The box might not be doxable, but I'm still worried. So let me give me a... Yo, pizza. Don't question what I did to the top of some of those pieces. Once again, I ask, am I neurodivergent? Am I neurodivergent? What the fuck did you do that pizza? Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I don't like eating bread. I don't like eating bread. Why is it? It's ricotta. It's ricotta cheese. You don't know yet? Oh. Okay, so, funny story. Funny story. Also, I just to get the my dailies, and I should probably get the my dailies. Officially, no, I am not diagnosed, but by several medical professionals have said, I think you are. As in, I'm 99% sure you are. You should get a psych eval. You should get a psych eval for autism. And then I tell them, I got a psych eval when I was 7 after my parents divorced. Well, I was 6 after my parents divorced. And it called me slow. And they're like, well, for year that happened, that's basically the same as an autism diagnosis in a girl. Do you want to pursue a diagnosis officially? And I'm like, do I have to? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, then I won't. You are soft watching your diagnosis. It's one of those things where it's like, you are the reverse Cuomo of VTubers. You're very talented, pretty sure autistic. Yeah. Peer reviewed. Yeah. It's one of those things where, yeah, lots of girls are undiagnosed. It's... Okay. You know what? Let's start the rants, and we can talk about it while you stare at my thighs. How does that work? You remember when I asked about watches? Oh yeah, and I was talking about the difference between a quartz watch and an automatic watch, and I like suggested the Casio 158A, or is it the A158, which is kind of like that understated metal watch that is digital. A lot of people wear that is considered really good for the price point because it's literally $30. I found your answer, but I didn't even get into the fact that Seiko was the ones that made like the first commercially available quartz watch. I haven't gone into the difference between the types of batteries. Are girls statistically more undiagnosed than men, or is there something wrong with all of us? So, literally up until I'm gonna say the 70s, maybe the 60s, as in the 1970s. A lot of research, a lot of studies that were done were exclusively usually had male participants. Or if they did have female participants, it was very, 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 very little. And in anything in terms of being like LGBT or any kind of like assumed mental condition or any other like quote-unquote comorbidity meant that often that disqualified people for studies. So when it comes to medical research and psychological research especially, a good majority of our research for modern psychology includes almost exclusively men. We've only really had like 50 years to like discover stuff psychology-wise about women, unless it was very specifically related to like attachment theory and motherhood, familial bond stuff, and relationships. Those are like the 3 exceptions to that. So that's kind of partially why $30, that's a steal. It is a really good price for a watch. But basically, a lot of medical research really only exclusively tested on men. And that is doubly true for autism. I'm gonna say, I think, autistic criteria by... I'm gonna call him John Asperger's. I forgot his actual name, but last I remembered it, his last name was Asperger. With Asperger's, those criteria were developed specifically for men. Now, socially, men and women in like specific environments developmentally can show different traits specific to neurodevelopment, not social skills as a whole, not socialization as a whole, but specifically neurodevelopment differently. Hans. Oh, of course, because he's fucking German. So a lot of that studies with autism specifically were almost exclusively on men. And it wasn't also until, I'm gonna say, like the 2000s where we actually considered like autism wholly to be a spectrum and to actually consider it to be comorbid with other neurodevelopmental stuff. Koppy, why are you so cute when you talk about psychology on every other occasion? Well, for psychology, I sure hope so. I got a degree in this. This is me just like reaching into the back of the... You see, there's no typing going on here. Hold on, let me move the camera. There's no typing going on here. I've not even opened up the rads yet. This is me just reaching into the back of my brain and recalling information from memory. This is called, I studied it for like 4 years. Approximately. Yeah, but not everyone with a degree is cute when they talk about it. Psychology and anthropology and sociology were a lot of self-discovery for me. So I'm very excited to talk about it. She's showing us why she got them student loans. True. Fun fact, over the last year, there's been discussions happening about splitting the ASD diagnosis again. I've seen those. Obviously, I'm not in the field anymore. Could be so big brain, big cute. Cute. I have really complex feelings about it because I do think when it comes to differences in support needs, we should be really distinguishing those difference in support needs. Congrats on the self-discovery, loads and a degree. The one thing I can recommend to people on the spectrum, take a sociology class and take an anthropology class. The psychology is like not totally needed, but it can help. Trust me, you'll learn a lot from that. I think when it comes to like differences in support needs, delineating it out so that way people can understand like the differences in support needs would be helpful. However, I do also then wonder then about how that separation would mean for people that have less support needs rather than more support needs, you know? So there's concerns there. Anyways, so a lot of research with autism was specifically with men, and it was specifically with young boys specific with all that. So let's use the concept of masking. It's known that girls mask more often, and it's known that then, you know, masking autistic traits, autistic, like, quote-unquote symptoms, and all this developmentally means you kind of learn as you get older how to, like, maneuver things. However, because it is considered specifically developmental, it makes getting a diagnosis in, like, adulthood more challenging. Because at that point, like, you are, quote-unquote, you're developed. Like, there isn't really a ton you can do other than go to therapy to learn, like, coping skills. There isn't, like, I know there are people that would take, like, their young autistic children to, like, specific types of therapy to, help them learn masking skills and help them learn how to not stim and all that, which I don't necessarily like. I understand why. I understand why parents would take their children to those, or they'll take them to, like, specific remedial classes to help them with, like, hand-eye coordination and all that. specifically. Yeah, you get a thumbs up. Yeah, basically. It's one of those things where I get why I don't like it. I don't think we should necessarily cover kids simming because it causes like dysregulation, and that's not good. However, let's say you're a parent in the early 2000s and your kid is on the spectrum and is getting bullied for showing traits of being on the spectrum. And now realistically, you would like for teachers to intervene or administration to intervene or for these kids to not be fucking assholes. But realistically, you might not be able to always. So what's the solution there? You can't necessarily always afford to move or take them out of school and put them into a different school that has better resources. I mean, maybe if you're paying for that kind of therapy, you can, but like, you get the idea. It's one of those things that I don't advocate for, but that is something that very much existed, and when you're younger, it's something that like people like will do. Anyways. Coffee Rat, thank you for dailies, and Coffee Face, thank you for dailies, and Coffee Shark Milk, thank you for dailies. That it's bleh. It's bleh. It's bleh. Bleh. It's all bleh. It's bleh. And so that's one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, I can see why a parent would do it, even if I don't agree with it. But like getting a diagnosis in adulthood doesn't really do a ton other than you know a word on a piece of paper, and if a diagnosis costs thousands and thousands of dollars, why would I get it? Is it that way I can proclaim, yeah, I have autism? For me, or yeah, I was diagnosed at 3. Yeah, so like that's like an experience I don't have. Like I did technically go to therapy as a kid. Like I went to not necessarily traditional therapy. After my psych eval, my parents put me in like this like hand-eye coordination struggling gifted student program. So it helped me with like memory recall, and it helped me with She doesn't need one to proclaim it. I don't need one to proclaim it, but it makes the validity of it stronger, in my opinion. And while I am not anti-self-diagnosis for other people, it is not something I would necessarily like for myself, if that makes sense. I understand why people might like proclaim something like that and understand like that kind of thing. She almost exploded from how tight her nuance had. Well, listen, talking about self-diagnosis on the internet is like stepping on like an atomic bomb. No matter what opinion you have, you're going to get shot. Which is why it's like, if other people want to, and they're not using it as a precursor to self-medicating, in the exception of like DIY HRT. Hello, wait, support trans people here. Hi, hello. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get that one out of the way before someone shoots me for that one. With the exception of like DIY, like HRT. Like self-diagnosis is fine as long as you're not self-medicating, in my opinion. In my opinion, the healthcare system can suck and isn't always very kind to people. It took them like 8 months to figure out that I had ulcerative colitis. And I had like the most clear-cut symptoms for ulcerative colitis that there was. I got a pap smear before I got a colonoscopy. They thought I had a UTI for 3 months. My landmine girl never step on a landmine? Yeah, I am the landmine. So, like, in terms of, like, proclaiming, like, those kinds of things, okay, fine. Autism's weird. Autism's weird because anything... Are you sure you're not just pregnant? Oh, no. I mean, they're pretty sure I'm not pregnant because they make me pee. They would make me pee in a cup every time I went to the doctor's office. But you know. Taking Kofi lore notes. Thank you. These are the ones that cause the tummy hurt. Oh, did they? Yeah. It's. Oh, when you're a woman and you go to the ER, or if you have the ability to get pregnant, or they assume that you have the ability to get pregnant, you don't even have to have the ability to get pregnant. You go to the ER. First thing they do, they triage you. They get your name. They get your symptoms. They'll take, like, your blood pressure, like pulse, temperature. They'll give you a cup. I think the only time I did not have to pee in a cup was when I was actively, like, thinking that I was having a heart attack. And even then, they made me pee in a cup later. It is technically fair because even if it's not a diagnostic tool, it is definitely a treatment tool in terms of medication. And also they can do a lot of other stuff with the pee. They do so much stuff with the pee. What if you don't need to pee? Oh, they can take like a teeny tiny like little bit of pee. Like if you're severely dehydrated, they can literally take, like, imagine this is your cup that you pee into. They can take it from like literally like 4 dribbles. You do get a lot of information out of it, like again, UTI, white blood cell count, red blood cell count. There's a lot that they can do with it, which is why I think they also do it. Anyways. Going back to healthcare sucks, so I get why people self-diagnose to a degree. But also, for me personally, something like autism or anything with, like, I guess, mental illness is something where I know how heavily those can overlap. And that's why I would never say I have one thing over another, because I don't know. You know? I'm thinking about myself, and yes, I might feel like I truly know myself, but the perception of others is just as important. The perception of others in my day-to-day life is just as important as how I feel. Obviously, you might think, well, how I feel is the most important. It depends on if whether or not you have a consistent, like, frame of reference of yourself, like using body dysmorphia, for example. Hi, hello. Clearly, sorry, I'm so fucking funny. Using body dysmorphia, for example, there are people who genuinely think that they are overweight. And, like, using, like, factual measurements of, like, you know, health and weight from... And BMI is inherently flawed, but we're going to use BMI as our scale here, where they're severely underweight on their BMI. And then clearly at that point, we need to take in other people's perceptions and not just their own. So that's also kind of also why, because, like, yeah, maybe I think it also requires other people to be reliable narrators. There's a lot to go into there. Hey, DB, thank you for your dailies. Anyways, so long story short, I wouldn't, like, say necessarily, oh yeah, I'm, like, autistic, unless it's for, like, a bit on Twitter. And even then, if somebody is gonna call in a question my diagnosis, then I bring up the RAD score. Then I bring in the RAD score, and I bring up the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doctors have said that I'm on the spectrum, or probably on the spectrum, and I should get evaluated further. I don't need to get evaluated further. 5 doctors, one of which was a child developmental psychiatrist, was like, yeah, you could get evaluated. Good morning, DB. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Anyways. 99% doctors quit before they hit it big. So true. Rads. Let's bring this over here onto this screen. That took me 20 minutes before we even got to the test. I am so sorry. Okay. There is a description. Who here knows what the rads is? And who here doesn't? Oh, it is time well spent. I like spending time with you guys. Oh, the Red Bull Autism Asperger Diagnostic Scale Revised. RADS are. I will put the link in both of the chats if you wish to take it along with me, but I will be reading everything out loud. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Wait, Twitch. Why is that? I think it said like I'm 5. Okay. Took it early when I joined. Okay. Rads like radiation? No, we'll get into it. The Red Bull Autism Asperger Diagnostic Scale Revised is one of the most widely used autism screening questionnaires for adults. It measures autistic traits across 4 areas, including social relatedness, circumcised interest, circumscribed, not circumcised. Freud would love me today. Language, and sensory motor experiences. While it cannot diagnose autism, sorry. It can help you understand whether your autism may be worth exploring further. Many autistic adults come across the RADS are when they're trying to understand patterns in themselves they have always felt hard to explain. You don't need to already suspect you're autistic to find the RADS are helpful. Many people arrive here simply because they've always felt different and are wondering whether autism might explain some of those lifelong patterns. What interest? Circumscribed? They might be wondering, why do social situations seem to require so much effort for me than for other people? Why have I always experienced certain sounds, textures, movements, or sensations so intensely? Why do I become so deeply absorbed in particular interested topics? Alright, I don't need to take the test. Could this be autism? The RADS is unusual among autism questionnaires because it asks you to think about both your current experience and whether those experiences were present when you were younger. This can be particularly useful because autism is developmental. Autistic traits begin in your childhood, even when they are not recognized until adulthood. Some questions may also describe experiences you have learned to hide, compensate for, or manage differently over time. When answering, try to think about your underlying experience rather than only what other people can see. I will take this test, but I know I'm done. Neurotypical. Yay! Common reasons people take the RADS are. People often arrive here because you've always felt different from other people. I'm special. That's what my classmates said. Social situations leave you exhausted. You feel like you're performing rather than being yourself. ADHD explains some things, but not everything. Your child was diagnosed and you recognize yourself. I should send this to my mom. Autism keeps coming up in therapy or while reading about it. I should send this to my mom. I'm watching the Kitty Gamer 5 gifted. I mean, okay, if I had to diagnose my parents, and I can do this because I've been around my parents and I know them and their traits well enough, I'd say my mom is the one that probably has autism, because she's the one that's talked about, like, you know, it seems like nobody else has to follow social rules except for her. And my dad probably has ADHD. He might also have autism. But if I were to diagnose them, that is how I would divvy up my parents in that regard. There could be also other things to explain with my mom, but we're not gonna get into those on a public stream. The internet is forever. Did you guys know that the internet's forever? It's forever? Got a concentrated stream from both of them. So autism plus ADHD. Oh yeah, we knew this. We knew this. Okay. I am a sympathetic person. True now and when I was young. Also, I'm gonna do the thing where I elaborate on my feelings as I, like, answer them and why I'm answering them in certain ways. Please talk more about Koppimon. Make Freud proud. I hate Freud. I hate Freud with my guts. As someone who was into like neurocognition, I hate Freud with my guts. I hate psychoanalysts. Okay, so the thing is, I'm definitely a sympathetic person. Like, if a friend comes to me with like certain like struggles, I want to make them feel better. I don't necessarily always know the exact solution to make them feel better. If it's like one of those things where it's I let them vent, or if I help them problem solve. It's also realistically, there are times that this makes me feel like a bad friend, where I'm just like, I don't know how to help. Like, I know you feel bad, and I can empathize with why you feel bad, but like, now I feel so bad from you feeling bad, I can't help. I don't tell them that last part. So I'm gonna assume that I'm sympathetic. Thank you, Miss Koffie. The stream is one of the highlights of my day. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you enjoy mental illness. So we're gonna say true now and when I was young. I often use words and phrases from movies and televisions or conversations. Does as a joke count? Does as a bit count for that? Like, when they're saying, I often use words and phrases from movies and televisions and conversation. Like, you know when you have like an inside joke? I counted it for mine? Okay. Because it's like, that kind of counts. I counted. Alright, awesome. We'll go with that. Because I guess it's like, people don't make references. Like, at least to the same severity that I make references. I know I make references. I know I make jokes and references. I wouldn't say it's a core conversation skill for me. Inside what? Inside jokes. The bit counts too. But I do so many things for the bit. I am often surprised when others tell me I've been rude. I'm not surprised now, because it's one of those things where I can definitely look back on a conversation and understand how I've been rude. But I definitely needed it explained to me like the first time. I'm really dedicated to the bit. I'm so dedicated to the bit. I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16, because I was definitely rude when I was like younger. And it's definitely one of those things where like I can be unintentionally rude now, but it's not something that surprises me when I find out. Bitch. DB, how dare you call me a bitch? How dare you? What? DB! Sometimes when I talk too loudly or too softly and I'm not aware of this, oh. Yeah, I do not notice how my voice can carry sometimes. Or not carry sometimes. I've had times where I would make jokes at a party that were like totally inappropriate, and at that time, then apparently everyone at the party heard me. And it's like, damn, okay. Damn, okay, I didn't need everyone to hear that. I often don't know how to act in social situations. True now, when I was young. Saving that until Kofi's lowest moment for a complete downfall. This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. I can put myself in other people's shoes. I'm gonna say true only now. Like, again, I'm empathetic, I'm sympathetic, but I think, like, there's being empathetic to, like, a singular situation, and then there's being empathetic to, like, the complexities and the nuance and the background on things, and it's like, yeah. I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean. Like, you're the apple of my eye. Disclosure. Full disclosure. I didn't know that wearing your heart on the sleeve meant, like, you know, showing your feelings until I was like 20. I didn't know that until I was like 20. Also, hi babe, I get my dailies, look. I thought it meant like literally literally because this was also at the time when like the knit sweaters were really popular, like that they were like knitting a locket into the sleeve. Because that was like a fashion trend I saw on like Tumblr and Pinterest at the time. But it was like really common in like young adult fiction at the time. Drive-by Koffie is cute. Very cute! Do we still need to continue the test? Yes. I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. You guys like listening to me yap, right? Right? I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. So it's like you don't even enjoy talking to like other people. Like I'll take it as like I struggle with small talk. I struggle with like talking about things that aren't like about myself. It's the best way I can describe it. But like, you know, things specifically I like. I've gotten a lot better at it, but it's definitely something I genuinely like struggled with. I do. Yes, I love it. Yes, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than I was 16, because like I've gotten better at it, but I definitely like struggle with it still, but I've gotten better at it. But the small talks for hours on Koffie.live, crazy! Me and you IRL and only going for small talk, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. I don't know why it's talking to most of my family who aren't my immediate relatives, but like small talk with friends and such. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like with friends though, that's a little different because like that's not small talk at that point. That's like talk with like, you know, if it's with your friends, if it's with your companions, that's different. I'm fine with talking about other people's special interests, but holy shit, sometimes people just have nothing. Yeah. Scared of meeting you because we might reference some really bad tweets, frame 1. I would bully you about your old Kamiyoshi. I would bully you about your old Kamiyoshi. I think that one's fair. I think that one would be funny. Damn, that's ruthless. Listen! Listen! Silly, they're getting in front of. Welcome. She's still alive. Yeah, and do you enjoy her presence after she got fired from Nijisanji? Oh, she wasn't my Kami, you were misunderstanding? Was she not your favorite? That was basically, oh. That's the same difference. That's the same difference. With a parasocial girl, that's the same difference. I focus on details rather than the overall idea. Yeah, true. I don't even need to get into that one. How many times have I gone off on tangents to give context? No, it was I. Okay, my bad. I forgot she was also there too. Koffie is my Kami Umpi. I'll tell the talents you manage that. I'll tell the talents you manage that. I always notice how food feels in my mouth. This is more important to me than how it tastes. Not more important. I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16. But I will say, like, I can be I'm sensory seeking in terms of like flavors. I'm not sensory seeking in terms of texture. True, she's like one of the 3 people I might brag about being oomph. That's me! They won't believe you because I tell them all the same thing? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Mari. Kami Upi is a big banger frames. My GF is very sensitive to food textures. McDonald's chicken nuggets. McDonald's chicken nuggets, my beloved. I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time. True now when I was young. 3 hours is a long time, by the way. 10 minutes is a long time, even. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. Hey guys, if I didn't add nuance to, like, every single thing I said... If I didn't add nuance to every single thing that I said, how bad would it be? How bad would it be? Rather than just not saying it or figuring out how to rephrase it. Oh yeah, that one hurts a lot because it's me every other day. Yeah, it's a... I don't mean to. I don't intend to. I can see it how afterwards. But I don't mean to. True now and when I was young. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me. I definitely prefer them. But I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16. Because again, I have developed those schools. Those why do I say schools? Those abilities. Kofi, I just think it's a rather complex channel. Exactly. That question should be over things I'm offending everyone with something I said. No, I think it should actually be the way it's phrased. Because, well, if we look at, like, specifically, like, hold on. I'm getting up the DSM-5 TR. DSM-5 TR autism. And let's get the actual diagnostic criteria up, and I will explain why they ask it the way they do. Okay, persistent deficits in social communication and social interaction across multiple contexts as manifested by all of the following currently or by history. Examples are illustrative and not exhaustive. See text. No way, she's pulling out the books on me. I'm sorry. I understand why you say it because as you get older, it does become overthinking. But when you're younger, or when you're not masking, if you don't have a high social masking ability, or you haven't had that hypervigilance instilled on you, the overthinking is of hypervigilance. But that hypervigilance has to come from somewhere. So, here are some of the examples that they give in the DSM-5 TR. Obviously, they're coming out with the 6 soon. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, this is not actual diagnostic criteria as in me diagnosing someone, this is just me reading what the diagnostic criteria are. It's not exhaustive. This is not for educational purposes in any means, this is only for entertainment. I'm literally a pink cat on the internet. I'm not licensed as a doctor, I'm not licensed as a freaking anything. There's another sequel? There's already been 6. Anyways. Deficits in social emotional reciprocity, ranging, for example, from abnormal social approach and failure of normal back and forth conversation to reduced sharing of interests, emotions, or affect. Affect can refer to tone. So if somebody has a flat affect, that means that they aren't emotionally showing intonation in their tone. We might also have people that are overly affected. Ignore her chat. This has been a clue by no. All yours, Kofi's do you give me medical advice? No! Anyways, so if we look at the previous question, again, it's... Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. That's the question. Now let's get back to that DSM. Deficits in nonverbal communicative behaviors, for social interaction, ranging, for example, from poorly integrated verbal and nonverbal communication to abnormalities in eye contact and body language, or deficits in understanding and use of gestures, to a total lack of facial expressions and nonverbal communications. 3. Deficits in developing, maintaining, and understanding relationships, ranging, for example, from difficulties adjusting behavior to suit various social contexts. 2. Difficulties in sharing imaginative play or making friends. Absence of interest in peers. So, we're gonna use that little bit of 3. And we're gonna use a little bit of that, like that A1 and that A3 there. So 3, the deficits in developing, maintaining, or understanding relationships, ranging from difficulties adjusting behavior to suit various social contexts. So if you say something completely inappropriate for a situation, and you didn't understand why it was inappropriate, that is what they're kind of considering in that, like, realm. It's not you didn't understand why it was inappropriate because you haven't been exposed to that before, but rather, like, in terms of neurocognitively, those kind of social expectations aren't, like, automatically firing. Anyways, if we go back to A1, deficiencies in social and emotional reciprocity, ranging, for example, from abnormal social approach and failure of normal back and forth conversation. So they're saying failure of conversation there. Where either they're completely talking and you're not responding, or you're completely talking and they're not responding. Both of which is kind of like examples of like how these could be considered like offensive social interactions. Does that make sense? So while I understand overthinking, the overthinking comes from the hypervigilance, which comes from, you know, maybe being exposed to like your autistic traits when you were younger and then having like maybe like social backlash from them. And then developing skills to compensate for that. No, I'm telling you, I just want to make sure like I'm communicating it. You have one deep voice, but please, you have a deep voice, but please use more than one tone. Yeah, exactly. Or in my case, like you'll see this a lot more with girls, is you have a lot of tone going on and it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry for bringing out the books. I'm sorry for bringing out hashtag sources. Are we chart channeling? We're doing the rads together. Anyways, so. Number 14. I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. True only when I was younger than 16. I mean, it's kind of true now, but I've gotten better at doing it now. Or if I go out to eat with friends, sometimes I just like might not talk. But like, I never talked at lunch or dinner with like family or friends throughout school. Back when I used to work, I would pick up Panda Express to go, and I would get to work 30 minutes early, and I would eat it by myself in the break room, and then I would clock in for work. I just naturally gravitate towards not having food with other people. I see it more as a social thing, as a cultural thing now, in the sense of food is very much a special interest I have now. So it's a good social lubricant, much like how drinking is. So that's why I like eating with people now, because it's a good social lubricant. And it's a special interest now, basically. So I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be someone else. I'm gonna say never true because I've always wished to be someone else every single day of my life since I was born. Anyways, social lubricant, blah. 30 minutes early to work is crazy. Well, it was 30 minutes early, and then I would eat my dinner, and I would actually clock in. I'd only be like 10 minutes early at that point. I've been told that I am clumsy or uncoordinated. Guys. Guys. Yeah, yes, well. Do I have any bruises right now? Has me bed rotting all week actually made me bruiseless? Oh my god, I'm like relatively bruiseless right now. You have to ask. Sorry, I just want to confirm we're making... Oh wait, do I have a bruise there? Is that a bruise? Yeah. I like asking you guys so you feel involved. Maybe just a bit. Just a bit. Anyways, next. Others consider me odd or different. Guys? 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 True now when I was young. I understand when friends need to be comforted. Go back to the first question where I said, I don't know when to give comfort and I don't know when to give solutions. Can I phone a friend? Yeah, sure, you can phone a friend. So that one is a never true. I'm very sensitive to how the way clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important to me than how they look. I'm not gonna say it's more important than how they look, but it definitely, like, matters a lot to me on how they feel. Again, we've gone over this. I wear a lot of athleisure because it is genuinely, like, adaptive clothing, but, like, socially acceptable. Maybe just a lot. Maybe just a lot. I like to copy the way certain people speak and it helps me appear more normal. True noun when I was young. Immediate. Immediate. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. Those of you who went to Off-Kai and saw me in a group setting. On a scale of 1 to 10, how terrified did I seem socially? 6? We're gonna say true noun when I was young. 7? 6, 7. I've fallen into the trap of watching British comedy and changing my accent for a few weeks. At least 6 or 7. Well, he kept skittering and hiding in tables according to Off-Kai guys, yeah. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. True only now because I only started doing it when I got older. I was an unhinged child. You're changing it to 8? Why are you changing it to 8? You seemed pretty terrified when you were alone. When you were around Toby, so I couldn't imagine you in a group. Yeah, like I love Toby. I love Toby. She is so sweet and she is so nice and I like talking with her and I like socializing with her. But I also know that socializing in person scares me a lot. Because I'm recalling you expressing being scared of being perceived. Yeah. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Never true. Thank you, VTubing. You made it easier. Oh, I got it under the table a few times before Toby got there too. I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I am talking about something I am very interested in. Highly confused. I recall 3 times straight Toby? Yeah. Well, thanks to VTubing, my boss is easier now. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna say highly confused. I'm gonna answer true only when I was younger than 16. In the sense of, I get frustrated. Like if I'm talking about something and I feel like I'm not done with the topic and somebody tries to change the topic, I wouldn't understand why they'd want to change the topic if I'm not done talking about it. Does that make sense? It makes sense. So most cats I've had love to hide under your tables. Yeah! It makes sense to you? Yeah. You also hit your head? Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. True now when I was young. I've gotten better at it, but it's still like something where I like definitely have to like use my brain cells. I like having a conversation with several people. No. 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 I'll read the rest of the question. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table, at school, or at work. And the answer is no. Like, voluntarily depends. I think it's like... There are people who find it easier to communicate in a group because it means that they're not communicating one-on-one. Several people is too many. I think my sweet spot is like 4, you know? 4 or 5. Like, one-on-one is hard. Because then you guys like have to like you two together have to add up to 100%. Hi, I'm Yummy. We're taking the red czar. We're learning if whether or not I have autism today. Hey Kofi, if you were asked to start a prayer at Thanksgiving, would you die or not? Catholic, or can I just like freestyle it? If I can freestyle it, I'm fine. Catholic, no. With family, so again, Catholic, or do I have to freestyle? Remember, only one side of my family's Catholic. It's gotta be a lad too. Killing myself. Catholic, I guess. Okay, killing myself. Freestyling it, like, okay. If you're with evangelicals, if you're with Protestants, if you're with Lutherans, like, you don't have to do Our Father up in heaven. You can just say something like, thank you, Heavenly Father, for helping us provide the food on our table today and bringing our family together and into the safety of this winter. Something. We will enjoy the food that has been brought up here, and we will be forever thankful for all the bountiful blessings that you give us and this entire family. Thank you, Amen. Again, like, you can freestyle it, but like if we're doing it like Our Father up in heaven, I can't do that, man. I can't do that, man. It's been too long. Don't make me do that. I hate scripts. I'm getting minor PTSD flashbacks in high school. I've had 2, so I was curious. I've not been asked to lead, but I think it's also... It's usually like the matriarchs that typically lead it. Also, yeah, hi, funky, yeah. Never asked me to pray for anything. I literally never did that. Oh, geez, I can't. Yeah! I'm wearing dolphin shorts. I'm also wearing safety shorts under the dolphin shorts. I hate scripts, girl. That's to take a bunch of meds. I hate, like, reading scripts, though. Like, I hate thinking about things in, like, an exact phrasing kind of way. Good morning, JJ. Thank you for your release. Anyways. How many shorts do you need to wear? Well, okay. The reason why I'm wearing these ones is because these ride up. If I was not wearing these, like, all this would be visible. All this hip would be visible. And because even though I'm streaming on YouTube, I'm also streaming on Twitch. And I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want them to be like, hey, motherfucker, you're showing hips. You don't want to see this? Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Hips so scandalous. It's literally in the TOS. It's literally in the TOS. All of what is visible? All of what was not visible because I have these on. Also, Kofi JJ, snack. I already did JJ's dailies. Kofi snack, thank you for your dailies. Twitch only cares about virtual lips? Oh, this is not true. Hold on. Like, do I think there's a... Yep. do we want to talk about logical fallacies? Wait, let's see. Twitch ban tracker. Where is this Twitter account that goes over streamer bans? Streamer bans. Here we go. Okay, this is unban. This is an unban. Unban. I don't care about unbans. Okay. Who's this girl? Okay. Not a VTuber got banned. I don't know why. Okay, I didn't think about this too much. But basically, you're going to hear mostly about VTuber bans because you interact with VTubers. That's kind of how, like, the logical fallacy of, like, being within a community works in that regard. There are a few exceptions of accounts where there are people that get banned and unbanned and banned and unbanned, and they should probably be permanently banned. That much I can agree with. They should probably be permanently banned. But there are these exceptions of very, 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 very prominent streamers, which means they make Twitch probably a lot of money. They make Twitch a lot of money. But, like, there are definitely girls who, like, are flesh streamers that very much could... Yeah. And names of Kobe won't like, that's I want. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. They make Twitch turn into Mr. Krabs. Yeah. So, and it's also one of those things where I'm gonna be really honest, I think a lot of VTubers, like, try and, like, skirt the rules about, like, these known rules and try and, like, you know, push the envelope. Again, I won't name names in that regard. And then get surprised when they do get banned. I think it's pretty, like, I think it's pretty 50-50. I think it's pretty 50-50 in that regard. Either way, I'd much rather be safe, not actively show hip side butt action on stream, and go from there, you know? So VTubers have pushed their luck, so there's some reason. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna name names, but, like, yeah. Basically every VTuber outfit debut of 2021 was pushing luck. Don't think I want to call that pushing the envelope? Well, that's a turn of phrase that exists. It's a real turn of phrase last I checked. Anyways, back to the rad czar. Back to learning if Koffie Channel is autism. It makes sense. So most kids, I already read that. I take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. Thank God Twitch doesn't know I exist. Oh yeah, that's another thing too, is, like, if your partner, or if you're, like, above a certain view count, obviously that matters more. If you're under a certain view count, it's most likely a single person reporting you. It's not like some automation AI thing. We're not learning, we're just reinforcing what we know. Anyways. They showed a high drawing of each. Oh yeah, that's all the more reason I need to, like, actually figure out how to set up a Kofi burrow. We need an updated hide art of Kopichu. That one was like $400. I don't have $400 right now. I had $400 then. I don't have $400 now. I think it's totally fair, pricing-wise. Let's get that out of the way. It's totally fair pricing-wise. I just don't have $400 for, like, one singular art piece right now. Oh, that was a private comm. That was a private comm. Thank you for the resubscribe for 4 months. How are you? You got your score? Congrats. We're still less than halfway done my score here. Also, Noisy, thank you for becoming a critter on YouTube. He mostly draws Fubuki lately. Oh yeah, because his old Oshi was Coco. And Coco graduated. Oh, not old Oshi. He liked Coco a lot, but he also liked Fubuki. And he said after Coco graduated, like, he did not want to feel like he did not support, like, Fubuki enough. So, yeah. Foobs. Yeah. Anyways. Take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. There are times where there are misunderstandings. Yeah. It's very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. I'm gonna say younger than 16 for that one because it's not difficult now. It used to be very difficult, but it's not as difficult now. Koppie. I'm Koppie. Hi, Linus. How are you? I've been in the tournament Nexus since 9 AM. I'm drinking a beer. Do you want a beer? Do you want a beer? It's ongoing. Do you want to quit your tournament Nexus and have a beer? Oh, you want a beer so bad. You want a beer so bad. Beer! 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 Oh, should have fun? So you don't want a beer? Why are you giving me 100 bits, man? That's not gonna be fun. That's gonna confuse me. Drinking a beer right before work, Koppie's a good hold. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Back in the Nexus. Best of luck with the Nexus. Anyways. Next rants are questions. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin. I hate wool. I hate wool. Do you know how much it sucks for me to hate like wool and like some forms of cashmere when I know objectively like that is the most goated material known to man if you live in somewhere like Wisconsin? I hate wool. I hate wool. I hate wool. Like, I've gotten to the point where I now have a wool washing and cashmere washing routine whenever I get something that is wool or cashmere, where I hand wash it with the world's most gentle like lanolin and woolite to soften the like fibers as much as possible. Also, thank you for becoming a creator on YouTube. Why are you doing that here too? Wool is scratchy. It is scratchy. I will wear I'll wear a Uniqlo heat tech like turtleneck. But I hate how the turtlenecks bunch up on my neck. But I hate that less than the texture of the wool. Because the texture of the wool is all over my like chest and like body, right? But if I wear like a turtleneck that covers it, that blocks it. And Pink Thing. Double the support for Pink Cat. You do not have to, but thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, I've been multi-streaming. I think that's the one con of having like an embedded chat that like combines them both is people can't necessarily tell that it's a combined chat. I love Wolf Feeling, but I hate Velvet. Velvet is okay except on the seams. But it's not so offensive because it's only the seams where I have to like be like, no. I can't tell until you've read something not in Twitch chat. I know, it's so... this thing here. You see this chat here? Can a YouTube critter say like hi, hello over there for a second? And you'll see it pop up over here. Yeah, so I see the YouTube icon. Yeah, you see the YouTube icon? No, man. Hi, hello. Let's see. Come on, you can pop up. There we go. So you see how it says in pink? It's the pink ones. The pink ones are the YouTube, and the purple is Twitch. Thank you, critters. There's also a play button, but that's how you delineate it. But I know people will have like multiple chat boxes, and I understand why, because they might have gotten a bespoke custom chat box, and they want to keep it as two separate ones, and they don't want to get it like completely redone and revamped. But I was just like, hey, I paid $20 for the last chat box. I could pay $20 for this one. Yeah. I'm not saying you guys have to read chat. I know people who don't, but that's how you can tell. Twitch is a little faster for you. Yeah, I need to redo the stream settings for next week's. It's because I have it normal latency and not low latency or ultra low latency. It's also, I need to find out, would you guys want ultra HD streams? Or should I just keep it at 1080p? For those on YouTube, do you guys like ultra HD streams? You think 1080 is fine? Okay, then I'll do ultra. I'll do ultra low. If 1080 is fine, then we'll just stick to ultra low. Yeah. So apparently DVR, and I have it at normal latency. So if I fix both of those, then it won't be as bad. But I've been doing my best to try and make it not as bad. I think you can up the bitrate on YouTube. Oh, it's a shared bitrate. It's a shared bitrate. I can probably fix it in OBS. But I know what you're talking about because I can kind of see it. I think I need to fix it in OBS to make it higher. Because if I go into settings here, yeah, the audio tracks are the same. Okay, there's an override settings. All right, noted. She's still waiting until she can change YouTube app. We're hoping that I'll be able to change it in approximately 2 weeks. Approximately 2 weeks. The trick to get Koffie more bitrate is to send Koffie more bits. I don't think that's how it works. Koffie bites. I do bite. I was just wondering if tries to fight Tensei on YouTube and sent me to the void. Is it before that is it like you said, hi Tensei, I'm not silly, I'm just a guy? I see those. And they both came up in chat. It's having no biting time. Maybe more biting time. Also, Faye, thank you for 100 bits. What the heck? I haven't had biting time in a long time. It's been like 2 weeks, maybe 3. No, getting to the page. I can't get the. Oh, again, it needs to. That was a. Again, I need to change the at. I need to update the at. There was a reason why I was saying hi, hello. The at is to be updated. That's why I said that on Twitter and in Discord. Koffie loves lights. This is true. I 2 weeks since the last buying incident. So true. Bits to feed the bitrate? That's not how it works! I am extremely upset when the way I like to do things is subtly changed. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even need to further contemplate that one, yeah. I usually do other at everyone pings. Just I miss. I mean, I could do biting time, but it's also listen, how am I supposed to miss you guys if you guys talk about missing me first? Does that make sense? How am I supposed to miss you guys if you miss me first? Do it anyways? I don't think you understand how avoidant attachment works. So we should wait for you to say it first. I miss. The feeling can be mutual. I don't think you understand how avoidant attachment works. You want a fucked up traumatized girl? I miss. Mutual missing. I understand it well, actually. I'm so sorry, Azimath. It's mutual missing. Key your maxing strategy. Yeah, mutual missing. You miss Koffie Channel. That's me. I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. Okay, this one's weird. Oh, well, gee, thank you for 900 abilities. I miss you too. I miss. It's me, I'm Koffie. Anyways. I've never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. This one's weird. This one's weird. In the sense of... I can do day-to-day stuff and feel lonely. I don't necessarily seek out, like, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like, and maybe that's because, like, the void of that is filled by critters. If we're being, like, really objective about that. Like, I don't seek that out, like, specifically. Like, the loneliness I feel isn't something that, like, needs specifically an intimate relationship. I still feel like, you know, needs. I still get touch starved, you know? But that isn't something where, like, it's something that I need it. Like, that's not something I consider, like, a part of social, like, success per se. I know, like, Koppy Mom was like, when will you get married? When will you have a boyfriend that you can move in with? And I'm just like... So this one's weird in the sense of, like, there's definitely, like, a loneliness and there's of a social element of having a partner, especially, like, when you get to, like, my age and older. But I'm also, like, fairly comfortable in the sense of, how do I put this? I am broken enough and I am fucked up enough where I probably don't need a long-term, like, intimate relationship. And also, I think I would take personal offense to a casual, intimate relationship. I would wonder what is wrong with me if somebody could not commit. The docus take up all the bed space. I was, yeah, that too. So, we're gonna say, truly when I was younger than truly now. Because there was also definitely, like, one of those things, like, when I was younger, like, I felt like a big social step to, like, have a boyfriend and all that, and, like, to go to prom with a date and all that. And that was something where I definitely sought it out then, specifically. Now it's like, yeah, I'm lonely. Yeah, I'm lonely. But, like, also, like, I'm aware. I'm aware, and it's like, I don't think what would fulfill me emotionally is necessarily specifically an intimate relationship, because I am fundamentally a hard person to love. Anyways, next question. Yeah, exactly, DB. Exactly. It's difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I am finished. True, true. We literally just talked about this, where if I got interrupted on a topic that I didn't think that I was done talking about, then I would feel personally offended. I speak with a normal rhythm. Guys, do I speak with a normal rhythm? Fast but normal, mostly, yes, mostly, yes. Often, okay. True, we're gonna say truly now. Because I don't have anything that I can reference when I was younger than 16. That isn't one that's in my mind's palace to refer to. Also, hi, Weepu. I got the dogs out. I got the dogs out, Weepu. Do you like my dogs? Do you like my dogs? Bow. Comparison to me, you speak perfectly? Oh god, I hope so. I spent 6 years in speech therapy in elementary school. Oh god, I hope so. I don't know if you're speaking quick show outside of stream / interacting with us though. That's one where we would need to phone a friend. Yeah, I had to learn my THs and my S's. Cable. Maybe Jet. Both of you saw me at Offkai in like a not streamer capacity. I have a question. Also, you start your voice memo apps with okay, so. It's like when you write the first sentence of like an essay and it helps you like get started. Also, it's usually like because I'm like trying to add something to a textual conversations. Have you seen those Gengar slippers? Oh, the ones with the like toe holes? Yes, I have. I like these ones. I wear these around the apartment, which is great. They are so comfy. I love them so much. I cannot get anything done when I wear these. These like paralyze me. Oh, wait, but there are Gengar slippers with toe holes in them. They're like tongues. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's like how like round they are. But like they immobilize me. I can't like do anything in them. I can't do any chores. I feel like I'm like playing bumper cars, but with my feet. Anyways, I'm gonna say I speak with a normal rhythm, but only now. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. True now when I was young. I will have times where I cannot eat smoked salmon, or I cannot eat like a safe food, where I'm like, or I guess a food that like I like to eat, because for some reason like the taste or the texture offends me. It takes me a solid like 2 months to go back to it. I would not wear these outside for combinations of reasons. One, so there's this texture on the bottom. I would not want this to get dirty. Two, because I wear them inside. I don't want to wear them outside and get them dirty. Three, socially, I don't think it would be appropriate in most scenarios. And I'm very like hyper vigilant of like social perception in that regard. I would maybe wear them at a convention if like if the convention hall was like connected to the hotel. And even then I'm not even totally sure because like the floors might be dirty from that. Does that make sense? The phrase "I got you under my skin" makes me uncomfortable. I can think of turn of phrases that make me uncomfortable. But not specifically that one. I'm only gonna answer true because I know what they're getting at. I think the only food that's offended me so far is the weird boiled duck egg with the half-formed embryo in it. Oh, but look! Which is funny since I apparently liked it a lot when I was a kid, but now I get the sight of it. Yeah, I've talked about that before. Like, I will try any food once. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna have a second bite of it, but I'll try any food once, except like things at the level of like balut. I wonder if there are slippers that are made for outside. I'd say Uggs, Hey Dudes. That's literally the name of the brand, Hey Dudes. Birkenstocks are kind of slipper-like. Crocs. Basically anything that has a more solid sole on it. What are Hey Dudes? They're like moccasins kind of style, like shoes. Like also if like any like moccasin style brand would also I think work. I wouldn't wear moccasins outside, but I know other people that would. You went Hey Dudes and thought you were referring to us? No, that's why. Yeah, it's a brand. It's a brand. Okay, Mai, have a good day today. Okay. So I'm gonna say true now when I was young about I got you under my skin because I know what they're referring to. And I don't like it. Sometimes I'll refer to a singular one of you guys as dude, where I'm like, dude. These slippers immobilize me might be the most autistic statement of the night. Listen, have you ever worn something that feels like it's not literally restrictive, but it feels restrictive? I wear Crocs to walk down the trail in my backyard, back my head. Yeah. Yeah, but as a clicked it. Yeah, no, I know. Sometimes the sound of a word or a high-pitched noise can be painful to my ears. I hate chalk. I hate chalk. I hate chalk. Chalk is the enemy. Chalk is the enemy. Chalk is the enemy. Chalk is my enemy. As are graphite pencils. I will always only ever write in pens. Or markers. Isn't chalk a kind of normal thing to hate? Well, it's specifically the sound. And also, I think pencils are not as normal of a thing to hate. Styrofoam are like, oh, dude, my meds come in a styrofoam thing because they're temperature controlled. So I have to cut open like this styrofoam shipping box. Like every 8 weeks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You were born at the good time with the development of whiteboards? I grew up in a very poor town. No, we did not have whiteboards in the classrooms that I was in until I was in high school. Like, we had like one smartboard in middle school. It was a lot of chalk. It was a lot of chalk. While, I'll put it like this. While the UK by GDP would be considered lower than all 50 states of the United States, and the poorest state, if it were a state, Wisconsin's funding does not go towards education. It does not go towards education. It goes towards roads. And more roads. And more roads. And the city specifically. And more roads. Okay, I'm an understanding type of person. I mean, answer true only now for that one. In the sense of, I understand better now than I did when I was younger. It goes towards cows. It goes towards roads. Cows are private property. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. I'm gonna say never true. There are some characters where I can't empathize with them, but I feel like I overly connect with characters in movies. Like Spider-Man! Yet such bumpy roads. Hey, I didn't say they were good roads. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. True now and when I was young. Having to fix roads because every winter they get destroyed by the water? Yeah, basically. They get destroyed by the water and the salt. Relatable? Yaoi Fu? I can see in my mind exact detailed things that I am interested in. And no, I can't rotate an apple. So I'm gonna say never true. Because if we're talking about like literally picturing something, no, I can't really do that. I can, you know, kind of form thoughts with details about things I'm interested in with more detail than I would about things I don't care about, but I think that's normal. Can you rotate 3D copy though? No? It's, okay, I'll put it like this. For me, the apple is like slightly overlaid. Like if I have my eyes open, the apple is slightly overlaid. It's kind of like, almost like a light box. If I close my eyes, it's also like a light box. It's kind of like light and shadow and general shape. I can like kind of sort of like rotate it, but again, because when I think of like picturing things in my head, I'm picturing more words and concepts and all that, and not so much literal images. And if I do try really hard for literal images, it's not like a fully formed image. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm gonna say never true for that one. I keep lists of things that interest me, even when they have no practical use. Hold on, let me... I can show this one because it's not a docs. So this is a bunch of... Can you stop showing push notifications? Bunch of Japanese lingerie brands. I've never bought Japanese lingerie in my life. I just have a list of brands and websites. Maybe you should. Oh, look at some. Maybe I'll add it to Throne. List of Brewers players. I don't need a list of Brewers players. That screenshot, that's me. The screenshot said my score was 165, so okay. I'm gonna say trolling now because I've only become like a list collector now. Koffie, you're gonna kill me? Hee hee. Anyways, when I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. Yep, sure. Now when I was young, hiding under tables, hiding under blankets, not talking to people, bed rotting, doom scrolling TikTok, watching reality TV to turn off my brain. If I have family visiting me, I will hide in the bathroom. I will do that thing where I like quote unquote elope at parties, etc. I like to talk things over with my friends. Yes, but almost overly so. Like I need to over communicate my feelings with my friends. It's true only now. Like I need to really over communicate my feelings and make sure they're good and that I'm good. No. Okay, so eloping in a party doesn't necessarily mean leaving. It means like hiding in a bathroom for like a socially inappropriate amount of time. Or like wandering away from people to like pet a cat in like a spare bedroom that you're really not supposed to be in to avoid the situation. While there is also like technically eloping in autism that just means literally running away, it can just manifest in like a, you know, they're just not wanting to partake socially. The Irish goodbye is similar, but that's like literally just leaving, and that's not the same as eloping. I would explain my entire thought process when I'm worried about being misunderstood about something. Yeah. Say basically the same thing. Like I will over explain things, or if I'm like 50% sure someone's upset, then I'll be like, okay, let's talk, let's get your feelings out. Never heard the term used outside of weddings, and that's why one of us has a psychology degree and one of us doesn't. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I'm saying. I'm gonna say true now and when I was young. I genuinely cannot tell. Like, I can kind of tell with people, like, try and show their lack of interest, but, like, as is, eh. Also, why are you flicking me? Jet, why are you flicking me? Smart one wears the pants while dolphin shorts. Clickable? That's mean. I don't think I did anything done. OMG, Facebook Marketplace. No, I cannot tell when someone is like not interested. I have to use them, or like bored. I have to use them being an active participant in conversation to understand if they're bored or not. I have a friend who kept sending me pics of anime girls in dolphin shorts. Is it also because your boss wears dolphin shorts? Is it because your boss also wears dolphin shorts? Hey, you told me thank you for dailies. Welcome. What? Yeah, Snoozy. Don't attack him like that. I'm just saying. You know? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I was already afflicted when I was watching her, so yeah. I was like, hi, Moon, thank you for dailies. Okay. So yeah, I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I'm saying. I have to use somebody using, like, actual, like, being an active conversationalist to, like, assume interest. If somebody's not, like, talking to me and they're not responding to me, I just assume they fucking, like, hate everything I'm saying in that moment. It can be very hard to read someone's face, hand and body movements when they are talking. True, only when I was younger than 16. I've gotten a lot better at it. I still struggle, but I've gotten a lot better. The same thing, like clothes or temperatures can feel different, very different to me at different times. Yeah. This makes it so that way I don't get overstimulated, sensory-wise. This helps. This makes me neurotypical. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in social situations with others. I'm gonna say trolling now, and even then it's not like fully true. I wouldn't say very comfortable, but I'm gonna say not actively like bugs crawling in my skin uncomfortable. I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. Yeah, true now and when I was young. Again, I like solutioning things. Cons count as social situations? I know, and I go back to my hotel room every chance I get with downtime. People probably see how I spend cons as a waste of money, but like I will go back every chance I get. I elope at cons, that's how bad it gets. I have been told that I have an unusual voice. For example, flat, monotone, childish, or high-pitched. Guys? You went immediately back to your hotel room after Kermit? Well, that was different. That was, my sweater was sweaty, and I could feel the sweat in my armpits, and that made me want to take a shower. Yeah. Yeah, but it's cute, though. Lucky thing for it to be? What does that mean? Likely. I'm gonna say true now. When I was young. Hi, Dan. Thank you for dailies. Welcome. I'm refraining from my next statement. Yeah, I know. Something sweaty. Something, yeah. I use spray antiperspirant. When I'm at a con, I use spray antiperspirant. I don't like using roll-on antiperspirant because it's like jelly. And if I use like traditional antiperspirant that's like the brick, then that will stain your clothes. Oh yeah, no, it was just also I literally had that sweater on at that point for, let's see, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, 1, 2, 3. At that point, I had that sweater on for almost 3 hours. Sorry, I went to a Brazilian steakhouse and ate so much picanha, I think I'm going to explode. I just had hot honey pizza. Also, it's in California, and I'm not built for California. I'm not built for California. We're taking the Reds R right now, Dan. We're gonna find out if I have autism. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my mind and I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. True. When I see something on Twitter and it gives me a lot of feelings and I force you guys to listen to me have a lot of feelings about it. Can we bet? Anything you bet on my autism or autism severity has to go to me directly. Swim. You have to deliver to me financially. You need to take a test for that? I talked about like how I technically like I'll use the term, but I don't like really use it as a diagnostic label for myself. Because it's been a bunch of doctors said I probably have it, but I haven't gotten like, you know, an official diagnosis TM. And also, it just makes for good stream content. Yeah. I see, I'm good then? Okay. Alright. I used the Pink Cat X thing for an announcement. Some mods asked about it. Do they like Koffie Channel? Would they like to learn more about Koffie Channel? I I'm Coffee Channel. I'm Coffee Channel. I think you're rad. It's me. Copy Ramble voice messages are my favorite. I'm glad you enjoy them. That's also how I can make sure that I'm like not completely stir crazy if it's a day I end up not streaming. Moro, wait, that's new. Ah, okay. I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things by my eyes. I'm gonna say true now and when I was young, in the sense of I don't sim in like a traditional sense, but I am fidgety. I think Azimath clocked this the first time I had a hand cam with my first Aura ring, where I would fidget it between my hands and like switch which fingers it was on. I wouldn't say like I necessarily sim in a way that's like very obviously dysregulated, but I am definitely fidgety. But I posted some stickers of you to drive the plane home. Understandable. I've never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting. I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16. I'm kind of getting it now. I'm kind of getting sports and reality TV now. I am considered a compassionate type of person. I'm gonna say true now and when I was young. You're getting Love Island pilled? Oh, I'm getting Vanderpump Rules pilled. I'm getting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills pilled. Because there's a system. There is a flow of shows that lead up into the current moment that made Ariana Madix an Emmy award-winning host of Love Island. So, we have this lady. Her name's Lisa Vanderpump. She was married by this guy named Ken Todd. She's British. And she moved to Beverly Hills. And she was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for like the first however many seasons. And they're filming this. And she's a restaurateur. So she has like multiple restaurants. She's in hospitality. She is, you know, into all kinds of stuff. Like in that regard. But like at this point in time, in like the early 2000s, she's a restaurateur. She originally had a wine bar in London. All that fun stuff. She has some of the most dysfunctional staff known to man, because this was in a time in LA in the early 2000s where you packed up all your things, you moved to LA, you got 5 roommates, you worked in a restaurant, you worked in a cigar bar, you worked at a bar, etc. And you networked by like putting yourself out there through hospitality. This brings us to a lovely young woman named Sheena Shea, who worked at a cigar bar before she worked at one of Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants. And one of the other Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, her name is Brandy's husband, went to that cigar bar. And she didn't know that this husband was married. And she had an affair with this husband. You know, all this fun stuff. And that was going on. And then she left the cigar bar and she worked at one of Lisa's restaurants. At this point, I believe she only had 2 in LA. She had Sir, which was literally SUR, Sexy Unique Restaurant. It is a restaurant name of all time. And she had Villa Blanca. And the Bravo executives are like smelling this like drama. The producers are smelling this like big juicy drama pit that is Lisa's restaurants. Because again, think of it in the sense of like the modern Instagram model of people who want to make it big. And the ones that like consent and want to be on reality TV and also have this delusion, affectionately delusion, or this like preconceived notion that they have the ability to make it big, and it also like that they're personable enough, that they're like not in the wrong, all that kind of stuff, makes for phenomenal TV. They're horrible people, but it makes for phenomenal TV. The producers tell Lisa, hey, Villa Blanca's your nicer restaurant. Sir is like more of a bar, cocktail bar, lounge area. Move this girl, Sheena, to Sir. Move a few other people from Villa Blanca that we know are like hot messes to Sir. And then we want to follow Stassi Schroeder, who also has her own TV show now, and Jax Taylor, because they're big hot messes, and we keep hearing about that too, sir. And we're going to have it where we're going to have the episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where Brandy confronts Sheena, and then it's going to go into the first episode of Vanderpump Rules. And it's going to be a reality TV show about your restaurant touring, and the employees under it. And it's going to be the trashiest thing known to man. Angels of Delusions. Yeah. So, it's ongoing. They have 12 seasons, but the original cast is only on for 11 seasons. Quote unquote only. They probably would have been on forever. The reason why they weren't, is that Ariana Madix used to work at this restaurant. And she was dating a guy named Tom Sandoval. And during the events of season 10, now they had been dating for like 8 years. During the events of season 10, he had a 7-month affair with her best friend. And it broke because he recorded a FaceTime call of said best friend and him, and she saw it on his phone because she was handed his phone at an event and it was unlocked, and she like looked at it because she had like kind of a gut feeling. This is so messy, and this is like I'm ignoring like 12 seasons of drama here. I'm ignoring 12 seasons of drama here. I'm ignoring cancellations and uncancellations, and again, all of these people are probably not good people. Ariana, I would say, while probably the most unhinged within the last season, I think well within her right to be the most unhinged. So they were basically like, the producers were like, we can't keep having the show go on with this original cast. We've cultivated them for like 11 years. It's been great TV. I will also put it like this. There are a lot of memes on the internet that come from reality TV. There's a lot of pop culture that comes from like Real Housewives specifically. Not even just Real Housewives Beverly Hills. We also have like OC in Atlanta. So many reaction images and memes are edited Real Housewives scenes, or like similarly. Wait, did you see the fake pregnancy bachelor thing? I did not. Anyways, so Lisa Vanderpump, restaurateur, she's now kind of making herself into what I would consider now a hospitality influencer. She's not an influencer because she's on reality TV. She's a reality TV star, but it's in the same like sense of like, what would one consider like Martha Stewart? I would not say like her hosting skills are like that of Martha Stewart. But if we're thinking like hospitality, if we're thinking restaurants, if we're thinking hotels, thinking something in that regard, she's kind of weaning off the show. And she starts a new one. And it's called Vanderpump Villa. And it's about bringing in people to, it's kind of like a competition, who work in hospitality, who have worked at some of her restaurants, who have worked at like other restaurants and hotels in Las Vegas and New York and all that stuff. And having them under like these like large estates that she like rents out for the summer, and she has guests throughout the summer, and it gets very, very messy. That gets very messy. If you know anything about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, in between the events of like season 1 and season 2, the Mormon Wives were on season 2 of Vanderpump Villa, and there is like a weird love triangle affair thing that's happening over there with that. Is it the woman pointing at the cat from one of those? Yes. Yes, it is. And Stassi kind of shows up also because she's like being a guest, but she's also being like an informant for Lisa in this regard. That one I would say is most comparable to like Below Deck, which is where it's competition, it's hospitality. It's like watching these people actually have to do things. The meme one? Oh yeah, the meme one? The cat one is really sad. The cat one's really sad. The background between the cat meme, I don't remember names, I don't remember which Real Housewives that was on, but it was on some of the really early seasons. Essentially, one of the housewives was dealing with some really, really horrible stuff within her home life. That people were aware about. And she was not leaving the situation. And even though she had kids and all that. And that's a very complicated thing to get into in terms of when should somebody leave and when should someone not. What is actively actually the safest decision to make? Anyways, some of the people who are talking poorly about her and saying that she was just as bad as the person that was making the home life rough, was at this event. And she wasn't expecting it to be. And it becomes a very highly produced production, which involves essentially an abused woman who is crying and screaming. She's the one who's pointing in this situation, and she was pointing at someone else. And then they transpose, instead of the other girl there, a cat. It's a lot of things like that. Well, not all of them are like that sad and that tragic, but that is an example of like all that. So, yeah, that is an example of all that. Anyways, back to the rants. We're over halfway done, but that gives you an idea. Ariana Madix left the show when everyone else left the show, and then she went on to Dancing with the Stars because the scandal of like her being the victim in the affair blew up internet-wise to like such a degree that essentially made her mythic. Which, you know what? Frankly, rightfully so, rightfully deserved. She should be considered mythic for like that kind of like very publicized like hardship. Okay. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. Yeah. True only now, though. I didn't follow those rules when I was a kid. It's very difficult for me to work and function in groups. True now and when I was young. Yep. When I was talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. True now and when I was young. We talked about that one. Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises. I don't cover my ears, so I'm gonna say never. I'm gonna say only true younger than 16. Like, I have noise canceling headphones, but those aren't specifically for loud noises too much. That's just for like background noise as a whole. I can chat and make small talk with people. True only now. It's difficult, but I can do it. We're speed running this. We spent 2 hours on this. We're nearing on hour 3 here. Sometimes things that should feel painful or not. For example, when I hurt myself or burned my hand on the stove. Never true. That one, I'm kind of a crybaby with pain. Like, there are certain types of pain where I can tolerate it, and people are like, wow, what do you mean you're just walking around while you're actively flaring and like doing something? It's like, I kind of have to, but like, you know. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling them when it's my turn to talk or listen. I guess I true now and when I was young. I struggle less, but I still struggle. I'm considered a loner by those who know me best. Yeah. Yeah. I'm wearing that minor injuries hurt more than some major injuries. Yeah. Yeah, like, I will stub my toe, and I will think that is more painful than, like, a broken wrist. Her body is attacking a cooler and she's okay, but she burnt herself. Yeah, but to be fair, those burns were bad. Those burns were not good. I usually speak in a normal tone. We're gonna say true only now. I don't care if you guys think I have a weird voice. We're saying true only now. I like things to be exactly the same day after day, and even small changes in my routine upset. I'm gonna say true only when I was younger than 16. Only in the sense that, like, it's not small changes to me. But you know. You know. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. True now and when I was young. It calms me to spin around in a rocking chair when I'm feeling stressed. True only when I was younger than 16. I used to spin so much outside in my parents' backyard until I would make myself dizzy. I don't think tone has anything to do with how your voice sounds. We're talking about the autism test right now. We're doing the RADSR. The tone is literally a diagnostic criteria. Tone is literally a diagnostic criteria. Tone and speed. How does she feel about the meme? I do not know off the top of my head. The phrase, he wears his heart on his sleeve, does not make sense to me. Roll the clip. Roll the clip from earlier stream. True, only when I was younger than 16. Know what I mean? Like calling people about your voice weird. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. It is definitely like in the day-to-day life kind of thing. Like when I go outside and when I like back when I was in university, people definitely call my voice weird. People definitely call my voice weird. Yeah, that is like literally a memorable comma negative thing about me. If I'm in a place where there are many smells, textures, it feels, noises, or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. Not anxious or frightened. I don't like it. I'm gonna say only when I was younger than 16. Only because I get it. I don't like it, but I'm not gonna say anxious or frightened. I apparently have a white boy voice. I don't know what that means. That means you are relatively... You probably have like a relatively like Americanized accent and like speaking manner. Or anglicized in some form or another. Maybe not specifically Americanized. I think it's weird but very pleasant. I hope that makes sense. No, that makes sense. So I guess it counts. Yeah. And that's one of those things, like if you grow up on the internet and like your exposure to like language learning is through the internet, the accents are gonna be a little different from like the actual like accents of like learning it in your area. I can tell when someone says one thing or means something else. I'm gonna say true only now. No, I've gotten better. I'm not great at it, but I've gotten better. I like to be by myself as much as I can. True now and when I was young. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are on filing cards, and I can pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack and finding the right one. Or another unique way. The Mind Palace! The Mind Palace! True now and when I was young. My exposure was Western cartoons, Looney Tunes at a very young age, and my mom's English. She formerly worked for military intelligence. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. The same sound sometimes seems very loud or very soft, even though I know nothing is not changed. True now and when I was young. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my family and friends. True only now. I can't tolerate things I dislike, like smells, textures, sounds, or colors. True only when I was younger than 16. I'm better at it now. I don't like being hugged or held. Never true. I'm touch-starved. I'm touch-starved. I've had several people ask if I'm from the Deep South based on my voice. Mine is like, okay. I'm sorry for being like so straightforward about like the voice thing. It's just one of those things where it's, again, I know how it is in like a not online space, if you will. But it's also one of those things I don't really take with too much. I take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I think that's for... Okay, so the whole thing with the boundary carded off Kai was that I just said no hugs like as is, and that I would initiate it because I wanted it to be on my terms. I didn't want people to approach me and hug me off the cuff, you know? Because there would be times where I might have been okay with a hug and times where I wouldn't have been. Does that make sense? So that was my thing. It's not that I'm inherently opposed to a hug, but it's more, that was also just like I'm putting the boundary here so that way I don't have to have awkward conversation or rejection here. Let's just, I'll initiate. I like hugs, but also, you have to realize for a lot of critters and all that, like, and like even like people that I'm meeting at those cons, it's very much like this is the first time I'm meeting a lot of these people ever. That is stranger danger. That is stranger danger. I grew up in stranger danger era. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route or else I'll get very confused or upset. True now and when I was young. I'm not gonna say confused and upset, but I will always follow the same route. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. Yeah, true now and when I was young. I like to have close friends. True now and when I was young. I think wanting friends is still like, you know, that's not inherently like a neurodiverse versus neurotypical thing. People tell me that I give too much detail. Guys. 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 Sidebar, fuck with the wrist. Thank you. I had to get rid of the Koffie boob mouse pad because it was crumbling. It was crumbling. It decided to explode. Not enough to be doxable, you know. Not enough. Do I overshare? Do I overshare? I'm often told that I ask embarrassing questions. Guys? Yeah, crumbling. Because like I washed it and the glue that was holding the fabric to like the mouse pad was like peeling. True now when I was young. Hey guys, can you show me your Twitter bookmarks? I tend to point out other people's mistakes. True now when I was young. Sorry. Alright. 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 Alright, wait, they made it so the full score, like the sub scores are behind a paywall now? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I can tell you guys my total score though. What's the number? 151. I think that's around where I got it last time. Like I was in the 140s, 150s. $36. God damn it. I got 150. I expected a little higher. Well, okay, yeah. You have to remember, so where is it on here? There's like what the number means for diagnostic criteria thing. Where is this? Okay. They changed the website, so I need to find where it is. Up here. Reds are threshold. Okay, so 0 to 64 is below the clinical threshold. So like, yeah, 150 is like but it's you know, out of the score is out of 240 in total. 0 to 64 is below the clinical threshold. 65 to 105 indicates moderate or borderline alignment with autistic traits. So anyone who got diagnosed with autism and also took the test was a 65 and above in all of the studies that they did with this specific test. 106 to 130 plus is a strong indicator of autism, with scores above 130 commonly reported by formally diagnosed autistic adults. So that was like the common threshold. Again, they had another threshold with that 65, but that 65 was specifically nobody below a 65 also had autism. They just saw 65 as like that line. 140 and above was considered pronounced autistic traits with very high alignment with clinical diagnosis data. That leaves another 100, but like, you know. Obviously the subscales, I wanted to go through all the subscales, but they didn't have it there. So I'm not gonna spend $3 to go through the subscales and all that. But if I were to guess, circumcised interest and social relatedness would be my highest subscales. followed by sensory motor, and then language. That is my guesstimate. Circumscribed. I'm not saying circumcised again. $3, that's like half an order of cheese curds. Yeah, but it's $3 for something I don't really need to know the specifics of. Like, it's good. She said the thing again. Circumscription. And then, but here's, okay, so the average score for females with suspected ASD in total was 148. The average score for female neurotypicals was 69.5. And then the average score for females with diagnosed ASD is 176. So again, I think we can keep saying undiagnosed, but pretty sure. Man, that's rather circumspect of you. Alright. Alright. So, yeah. I like how this just came out of, like, 2 hours of content because I perched in my chair earlier. Thank you for your candy. Yeah, I'm gonna kick you guys out. I didn't even finish the beer, but it's bubbly and it's making my tummy hurt. So we're not even gonna finish the beer. I'm gonna lay down. And I hate how this is like all loose up here. This is like when I get home and get distracted by some article and waste 2 hours and sleep. Yeah, basically. I waste some time with you, but guys, so it's not a waste because I like spending time with you. I like spending time with you. Your tummy hurts because you ate a lot of meat. My tummy hurts because I had hot honey pizza and beer. Okay, let's see here. Who's live on twitch.tv? Me might find an interesting geology article about a volcano nearby that erupted in 20... Oh, crazy! It's Lizard Day. Did you guys know that it's Lizard Day? We're gonna go raid May. I love Gecko. I love Gecko. Lizard. 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 Lizard, 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 lizard. Do you guys know the meme for that? The lizard that is like pressing the button. Are you showing Glizzy over? Okay, bye.